Hi, I'm Shan Hurst, writer, author, personal trainer. This is my channel, Agelessly. Agelessly isn't about trying to stay young. It's basically about trying to keep vitality no matter what your age. I want to talk about taking risk. I'm not talking about doing anything dangerous. I'm not talking about going scuba diving in underwater caves or anything like that. I'm talking about just getting outside your comfort zone, doing things that you don't think you're capable of, basically to find out what you're capable of doing. So I'm going to tell a story about the scariest thing that I've ever done, and that was going on stage doing stand-up comedy. And it wasn't even intentional. I never planned on doing it. I mean, I always dreamed of it, like you dream of being an astronaut or a rock star. You know, I'd watch comedians on TV, you know, I hear stories about how hard it is, but I never thought I would do it. I'm a writer. I write stuff. I sit in my room and I write stuff and I draw stuff, and I'm not a performer. You can tell just by how uncomfortable I am doing this in front of camera. So, if you've been watching my channel, you know I spent 25 years being sick, 2 liver transplants. I was no family, you know, no career. I was basically on hold for a vast majority of my adulthood until at the age of 50, I moved to New York City, which that is a risk, but at the same time, not really, because I didn't have anything to lose. Risk is doing something where there might be a price if it doesn't work out. Obviously, if it's dangerous, it could be your life, but you know, I'm talking about just doing something that make you feel uncomfortable or humiliated or embarrassed. And I was walking on the Upper East Side and I saw a sign at the comic strip in New York City. And the comic strip is actually pretty well known. It's been in the city since the 1970s. It's where Jerry Seinfeld, Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, etc., etc. They all started there. And of course, I'm a 70s guy anyway, so that was like really fascinating. I was like, I never actually even been in a comedy club before. And it had a sign that said a comedy writing class. I said, okay. I'm curious because there are certain things about writing, such as misdirection, syntax, you know, beat, rhythm in writing that kind of helps deliver a joke stronger. So I thought I was taking a comedy writing class. And on the first day, the first thing they told me was, on your final day of class, you're going to go up on stage and perform it. It never even occurred to me that was going to be an option. And so I had basically 6 weeks to come up with a 5-minute material. And on that last day, I was going to go up on stage at the comic strip. And I had never had a chance to practice the material. I memorized it to death, but I'd never even done an open mic. Here I was, going to go up on stage at the world famous comic strip. And it just turned out to be standing room only. So not only did 20 of my friends show up, but massive amount of people with other people were all there. And it was completely sold out, packed. And I had ever been on stage before. I mean, it was horrifyingly terrible because I didn't go up. I wanted to get up there and get off, but no, apparently I was going to have to wait through most of the show and go up near the end. So basically I was just sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour with my heart racing, full anxiety. You know, if I could have found a way to get out of it, I would have, but I had people there who paid money And what actually, but at the same time, what happened was, I told myself, this is like 2018, and I said, 4 years earlier, I was on an operating table for the second time, and I didn't know if I was going to live or die. And it's after another 10 years of being jaundiced and sick and wasted away, a shell of a man. And if you would have told me on that table, that I was going to live, and that a few years later, I was going to be up on stage at the comic strip in New York City, delivering jokes, and I did get a lot of laughs. And I'm not saying I was the best comedian at all. I think a lot of it just had to do with the audience was enjoying me being up there. They were in my corner. That happens a lot the first time. It's when you go up the next time. And the next time when you start bombing. And I have ever since. I still go up. Not as much as I want to because I'm trying to do a lot of stuff at the same time. But what I'm saying is I don't regret it at all. Even if I don't become a famous comedian, which that would probably be unlikely, I'm going to still try it. You never know. I'm just going to do the best I can at whatever I try to achieve. But the point is, it was scary, potentially embarrassing. Maybe even was a little embarrassing anyway, because not every joke landed. I still came out with another chapter in my life as if it was a really good book. And my point is, we spend our life looking for safety, looking for comfort, and it's an illusion. We have our habits that we go to the same place to eat, we take the same way to work, trying to have some sort of stability, but it really is an illusion. And also, at the same time, you're living a boring life. It may not feel boring because you're being stressed with bills, anxiety of trying to survive, but the positive stress, not the negative stress that destroys you, the positive stress that makes you strive. Positive stress will make you grow. Positive stress will change you. It'll give you courage. It'll give you more options. Positive stress of taking chances that you're not used to, of taking that risk, will, in the end, just make you become a person that you'll be proud to be and that you like being. That's enough for today. I'm going to keep doing it. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying it, we'll just see how it keeps going.